Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today's topic is basics of semiconductor optoelectronics, elemental and compound semiconductor. And the subject is IODEC, integrated optoelectronics devices and circuit. So let me start. The semiconductor has of two type, simple and compound. In simple, we generally take silicon and germanium, which is from fourth group of the periodic table, and compound semiconductor comes from different groups, combination of different group like third, fifth group, second, sixth group, and fourth group. So if you add all this group 4, 4, 8, this is also 6 plus 2, 8, and third 3 plus 5, 8. So combination must be 8. So what are those elements in this group? So you can see third group, barium, aluminum, gallium, thallium, bal, gangadhar, indium. Fourth group, carbon, silicon, germanium, stainless, कैसी गीत सुनाऊं प्यारे. And fifth group is nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, nana papa and anti sub bimar bismuth. So we are taking up to antimony, stainless, antimony. And sixth group, what are the sixth group? Selenium and tellurium. We are taking only selenium and tellurium, and here we are taking last two element. And what are those two elements? Zinc and cadmium. Zinc and cadmium. So this all elements are coming under the semiconductors. So when we combine the second with sixth group, third with fifth group, and fourth with fourth group, we find different types of compound semiconductor. So as for example, we can take third, fifth, gallium arsenide, indium phosphide. So here gallium arsenide, indium phosphide, and third one gallium nitride. Also you can take gallium nitride. So what is in this group? Second and fourth group. Second, fourth group examples are zinc sulfide and zinc selenium. Zinc sulfide and zinc selenium. What is fourth group? And it's very much important group, silicon carbide and silicon germanium. Silicon carbide and silicon germanium. So these are the semiconductor which are from different groups, and they form the compound semiconductor. So there are some advantages of compound semiconductor, because in semiconductor silicon and germanium are having different properties. Some properties are good for one kind, some properties are bad for one kind. So when we make semiconductor compound, all the best qualities of different elements are coming together to enhance the optical and electronic properties of the device. So let me discuss optoelectronics now. Since we have discussed semiconductor, elemental and compound semiconductor, now what is optoelectronics? So optoelectronics is nothing but it is based on the quantum mechanical effect of light on electron materials, especially semiconductor materials. So what is quantum mechanical effect of light on uh, semiconductor? The study of that is optoelectronics. So we will discuss in detail quantum mechanical effect of light. This comes generally that absorption, I have discussed in previous class, absorption and recombination. These two phenomena is derived due to light. So when light falls on the semiconductor, its energy is being absorbed by the electron, and electron goes to the higher state. And again, when there is lot of electron in conduction band, there is it happens population inversion, and electron combines to the hole at the ground state, and the equivalent energy is released in the form of light. So light interact with material, and that interaction and the study of that interaction is generally studied in the quantum mechanical effect, and that is the branch of optoelectronics. So the optoelectronics basically concerns the study and application of the semiconductor devices which source, detect and controls the light. Once again, optoelectronics is the study of those semiconductor, not only study but study and application also of semiconductor for the purpose of source, detect and control of light, such as when you use LED or laser, when we apply quantum mechanical effect on compound semiconductor, we come out of LED and laser. So LED and laser is the product of semiconductor, not semiconductor, compound semiconductor. When we apply which effect? Quantum mechanical effect. And what are these effect? Absorption and recombination effect, which is dealt in quantum physics. And this too becomes the source. Now, what is detector? Again, gallium arsenide and germanium. When quantum mechanical effect works on gallium arsenide and germanium, it behaves as a source detector. And again, we can control the light also. So controlling of light comes under the different optoelectronics devices. So like multiplexer, modulator, demultiplexer, light splitter, light resonator. So all these optoelectronics devices comes under the control of light. So once again, so what is the definition of optoelectronics? It is the quantum mechanical effect of light on electronic material, especially semiconductor, and it is the study and application of semiconductor material which source, detect and controls the light. So one another aspect is multi-quantum well formation. To form a laser source, what happens? Different layers of compound semiconductor are grown on the substrate. Suppose this is the substrate. It may be silicon substrate or germanium substrate. Over this, we grow one layer of, say, any compound semiconductor, say gallium arsenide. Another layer, gallium phosphide. Again, gallium arsenide, gallium phosphide. So different layers are grown. So these layers are called active layers. Active layers. And another region, this region is called passive region, and this side region is also called passive region. So in this active region, all this quantum mechanical effect occurs. So this structure is called multi-quantum well. So within this well, electrons and holes get confined, because in well means this is the barrier, potential barrier both side. So whatever electrons and holes are there within this layer, those cannot come out of the well. And by pumping means giving external force by applying voltage, what happens? We can do both of this absorption or recombination effects. And so this is the basic of both the lasers and detectors. Quantum mechanical formation of quantum mechanical well by growing different layers of semiconductor and forming the quantum mechanical well. Another name of quantum mechanical effect is nothing but light material interaction. Light interact with the material, so name comes like this. So there are some examples of this light material interaction, different ways, so different names. So first name is photoelectric effect. Photoelectric effect or photovoltaic effect. Using this concept, There are some examples of device, photoelectronic device, that is photodiodes, phototransistors. So what are the examples? Photodiodes, phototransistors. So you can name all those. I am not going to write all those in detail. Photodiodes, phototransistors, photomultipliers. So all does detection of light, and based on photoconductivity, there are again different examples like phototransistors, charge coupled image devices, and so many. And based on stimulated emission. So one, two, third is stimulated emission. So based on this, there are injection laser diodes and quantum cascade lasers. So you can say lasers basically. And fourth one, light matter interaction example is radiation recombination. So in this LED comes. So all these terminologies you can refer some book and we can discuss in detail in some subsequent. Yeah, what is radiative recombination? When electron pair recombine and that energy comes in the form of radiation is called radiative recombination. Sometimes that energy may heat the compound also, that is called non-radiative recombination. Likewise, if there is indirect band gap semiconductor, they will be in non-radiative recombination, but if it is direct band gap semiconductor, there will be radiative recombination. So all these are very conceptual. You need to learn, or you need to recall the concepts again. To get mastery on this subject, you need to recall all those formula of semiconductor which we have studied in undergraduate course, semiconductor and basics of physics. So first is lambda z is equal to hc by eg, and which is equal to 1240 nanometer by eg. Eg is the energy gap. So which wavelength light will be emitted when Eg is the energy gap of semiconductor. So this is the relating equation. So when we put electron energy gap in electron volt, then answer of wavelength is in nanometer. Second one is photon energy. So photon energy is nothing but hc by lambda, which is equal to c by lambda is h mu, and when we divide h by 2 pi and multiply 2 pi here, h by 2 pi is h cut and 2 pi is omega. So it is written as h cut omega. And third one is sigma. Conductivity is q n mu n plus qp mu p. Mu n mu p are the mobilities of electron and hole respectively. And the Fermi energy level is Fe is equal to 1 by 1 plus exponent E minus Ef by kBt, where Ef is the Fermi energy level. So you need to find again the densities of states of electron and hole and all related equations. To understand the concept of laser or quantum mechanical effect, we must know what is band gap engineering. So for a simple PN junction, what happens? Band diagram. So this is valence band and this is conduction band for p type, and this is valence band for conduction band and valence for n type. So there is this gap, and both sides there is mismatch of this energy edges, conduction edge and valence edge, they are not matched at the junction. So and what happens to the Fermi levels? In this Fermi levels is, if it is p type, Fermi level will be near to this. If it is n type, Fermi level will be near to this conduction band. So in conduction band, Fermi level EF lies near to the conduction band, and p type Fermi level lies near to the valence band. So because Fermi levels remains constant, because of this, these two gets mismatched. This is the concept of why there is mismatch of the band edges when there is a p-n junction. If there is no junction, all the conduction band will be same, valence band level will be the same throughout. But due to this different doping concentrations and Fermi level remains constant. And the another concept that Fermi levels lies near to the conduction band in n-type material and Fermi level lies near to the valence band in the p-type. So to align these two must be separated out. So band gap engineering can be best understood with the help of heterostructure and heterojunction. So what is heterostructure? When P and N are not the same conductor. Suppose we are taking semiconductor silicon this side, and one is P type, one is N type. That is homo structure. What is heterostructure? This side, suppose we are taking gallium arsenide, and N side we are taking aluminium gallium arsenide. Some fraction, molar fraction of aluminium and some molar fraction of gallium arsenide. So what happens then? Energy band. Suppose this 1.42 is the energy gap of gallium arsenide. This is the EV and this is the EC, conduction band, valence band. And when we mix gallium arsenide with some fraction of aluminium and the same fraction we are reducing to gallium, what happens? The same goes widen. So energy gap increases both sides. This goes below, this moves up. Why? Because of mixing some fraction of aluminium to gallium arsenide. So because of this, now this is both are in pure condition. Now suppose this indium gallium arsenide we are doping with some n-type electron. So what will happen? So suppose this is the Fermi level. This side is intrinsic, suppose, and this is the Fermi level passing, and we are doping some electron this side. So what will happen? This will come closer to this, so it will be bending like this. So new structure, when we dope indium gallium arsenide with the n-type material, this bends like this, conduction band. Now this gap is reduced. There will be some positive ions in this, which is called donor ions, and these donor ions, and there will be some electrons in this conduction band. So there is transfer of this electron to this donor ions very easily. So a channel is created and these electrons transfer to this, and this is called quantum mechanical tunneling. So using this concept, quantum mechanical tunneling, the pump inversion, all those phenomena in laser is being studied. So this is the example of band gap engineering. What we did, irrespective of taking the same material, we took two different material, so it is called the heterostructure, and the junction formed is called the heterojunction. When both are pure compound semiconductor, then there will be no bending, but the band gap will be increased. But when we dope n-type, there will be bending. Why bending? Because this is the Fermi level and this is the conduction band. So conduction band will come closer to the Fermi energy level, and because of this electron gets ion very closely and a channel is established. Now even best result is found in double heterostructure. What is double heterostructure? Gallium arsenide is sandwiched between the aluminium gallium arsenide both side. So both side is aluminium gallium arsenide with some fraction of aluminium both side, and in between there is gallium arsenide. Since gallium arsenide has the lower energy gap 1.42 electron volt, because of mixing aluminium some fraction, it widens, energy gap widens both side. This is in pure condition, there is no doping throughout. Suppose now we dope this side P and this side N. What will happen? Since the Fermi level is already in the center, now due to p-type doping, this valence band will move nearer to this. So this point will move here and this point will be connected here. Now these 2 points again, because this is Fermi level, so Fermi level this valence band of this p side came nearer to the Fermi level EF, and this side, this conduction band will come nearer to the Fermi level. So this is, so here is some discontinuity and there is some band bending. This is called the band bending, and due to controlled amount of p and n type doping, we can engineer this how much we want the bending, such that while we are doing this band bending, because there are some electrons in this quantum well, this is called quantum well, this are forming the barriers. So here barrier are being reduced. Since this is n type, electrons will be coming here, and since this is p type, so this holes will be combining, holes will be moving here, because this electron will go there, hole will go here, this electron will go this side, so hole is moving this side. So there is continuous movement of electron and hole, and in this region what happens then? Electron is coming from this side to this side, because this is n type, and here electron is moving this side, hole is coming this side. So here there is so many holes and there are so many electrons, so there will be electron hole recombination. So because of this band engineering, band gap engineering, there will be lots of electron in this region and lots of holes in this region, and these electrons and hole will be recombining. This is called electron hole pair recombination. Due to that, there will be emission of light in the form of h mu. So this is the main concept of formation of quantum well structure using the double heterostructures, and there is two different junctions. When it is impure, when it is in pure condition, it looks like this. When we dope p and n, the bands edges are bending. Why it is bending? The rule law of golden law is that the Fermi level always remains constant, and in n type, conduction band will be near to the Fermi level, and in valence band, p type valence band will move near to the Fermi level. One more property of this double heterostructure is the engineering of refractive index. Since gallium arsenide is having the higher refractive index, so suppose this axis is refractive index, this is the direction. So refractive index of gallium arsenide is higher than the refractive index of the aluminum gallium arsenide both side. So this type of structure of refractive index allows the light generated to confine within it. Once again I repeat, whatever light generated in previous structure I have shown that whenever there is the electron hole pair recombination, there will be emission of light. Where this light will go? This light will be confined in this structure. Because of this high refractive index, light tends to confine within the high refractive index, and this constitutes the principle of waveguide or semiconductor waveguide or optoelectronic waveguide. So what is optoelectronic? Now suppose this is 3D structure like this. So light will be generated and it will be guided within this structure. So this is the principle of guidance of wave. So the double heterostructures gives two property. One property is band gap engineering. By doping p and n different controlled amount, we can move the energy bands whatever we need, and when this comes together, nearer electron hole pairs are combining, light is generating, and that light is also being confined within this structure, which is guided to some specific place. Suppose if it is detector, we need all the lights to be gone to one direction and collected. So I think this is too much for this class. Meet you soon in the next class. Bye bye.